Hello and welcome to Messages from Energy. It's going to be a great one this week because we're going to be looking a little bit more into what went on in the earthquakes, both on the Russian peninsula, but also just right of Australia, left of New Zealand, just slightly above that in the Fiji Islands as well. Both of them produced sort of like a tsunami warnings and stuff like that. I did do a video earlier on about it. If you want to go and have a look at that, you'll find it on our channel. But it was all about the reorientation of the portal, and I've been talking about that over the last 2-3 weeks within the Messages of Energy, of how they're reorientating the portal. So they're actually channeling the energy that's coming from the galactic plane, so we can get the Earth ready and us ready energetically for the moment that we're in line with the universal galactic plane and things can really kick off in a way. And it helps the energy to flow through the Earth rather than just impacting, as it were. Okay, so we're going to get a lot of messages from the center of the Earth this week here and see what's going on with that portal. But before we do that, we're just going to go into the chakra sequencing. What's going on? How's it been for the energy for you this week? Let's go into that first things first. I found it very productive personally. It's been busy, very busy, but at the same time, it's a lot of things are falling into place now. Once you find your pathway, all of a sudden the coincidence is helping a lot. So then that's going to help you with your manifestation skills of what you wish to be living in life and developing within your life, as it were. And also it's to do with our consciousness, of how we engage our consciousness within the vibrations that are around us. And that's not just human vibrations, it's also looking at trees, it's looking at the earth, the actual life sort of the whole life consciousness of the vibrations that is going on around us. And the more we can get in line with that, the better we will be in a position ready for the adaptation of the changes of energies that are coming through the Earth itself, and obviously through the solar system, because it's being affected by that galactic plane that I was talking about earlier on. And it's going to change a lot of things in the going future. So I found it incredibly productive. Let me just quickly go into those earthquakes, and I just want to show you my chakra map, which would be just up here. Okay, so the earthquakes have been hitting on the, I would say, between the third eye and the throat chakra, which is in Mount Fuji in Japan at the moment, and the solar plexus, which is down in Australia. So that is getting on with the plan, and that's accumulation of that has resulted in those earthquakes. That's what's pushing through at the moment. There is a little bit of the sacrum that comes involved, but not too much. It's been mainly, that's the vibration that's been coming out of the earth, as it were, rather than in the universal vibration. It's how the earth is transforming the universal vibration into her vibration. And we are obviously dependent upon her vibration as much as we are dependent upon the universal vibration. And that's what the chakra sequencing sort of does. It sort of helps us to connect to the greater picture, as it were, not just within the vibrations that comes from the earth, but also the vibrations that come from the universe as well. And it plays within our electrical system within us, and changes are afoot. And we were talking about last week about the truths that are starting to come out, and I think this is what is forcing that truth, that clear vision and that clear communication to the surface. And I think things will really start falling even now, from now to the end of the weekend. I think a lot of truths are going to be hitting the collective social understanding in the human world. And I explained on that in the live as well on Sunday night. I will be doing a live this Sunday, but it will be slightly later. It's going to be at 10 o'clock GMT time. rather than at 9 o'clock. So you might want to join us for that. Okay. In the meantime, whilst the wind just picks up, which may be capturing a little bit on the camera, let's get into the chakra sequencing. So I'm at this beautiful church here. I'm standing on a female energy line that comes through here at the moment. It's an All Saints church, really beautiful energies that's coming down this line. So let's just connect to that vibration there and see what's going on. There we go, we get the morphic fields going on. You can already see the morphic fields that are happening around us. A lot of clarity, a lot of white energy, and this is pure energy. You know, there's no orientation via the colors in one form or another. There is a little bit of red that comes into it as well, and I think that's to do with the solar plexus of getting on, getting things doing, building up our passions for life. Once things start moving along, the energy, you can tap into that sort of passionate, fiery energy. Everybody can, regardless of whether you're a fire sign or not. And you can use that passions to really advance whatever you wish to be living within your life, be it emotional or in the physical plane. Okay? Excuse me. There we go. We just connect to that energy again. Right, there we go. We've got the central point. Now, the central point there is right behind the sternum. That's where your energy connects to everything. It is an internal chakra. It doesn't come out of your body. It's right inside you. It's the initial point. And there we go into the crown and the root. Now, the crown is a lot lighter here than the root chakra. The root chakra seems to be quite heavy, but not in a nasty way. Heavy as if to sort of say, come on, one thing after another. Keep it very logical. Keep it grounded. Don't let yourself get pulled off into illusions. That's the last thing you want to be. You don't want to be distracted. And the crown chakra, as I say, it's much lighter. It's opening. It's the consciousness that is within the crown chakra. That's where our consciousness energetically is. Obviously, the consciousness goes through the entire body, but within that consciousness, within the crown chakra, it's allowing. There's a. If you imagine, there's like a chakra within a chakra, and that allows a little bit more sort of energy cables to enlarge and breathe with the consciousness. And here it's a consciousness about sort of saying, it's about enjoying the path. It's about enjoying getting things done. That's what the consciousness within the crown chakra is all about. And that's that vertical energy. Let's just see where it moves on to now. Well, like it did pass via the solar plexus and the third eye, but it's going mainly onto the sacrum, and I think this is tied into the idea of getting things done, the fundamental things. And so the sacrum is all about fundamental desires, and I explain it like this: I am hungry. That is a fundamental desire, and my heart's desire is to have a sort of mozzarella and tomato salad. I always use that, don't I? I should use something else. Mozzarella and tomato salad. Sorry, it's telling me to stay on focus. Okay, sorry, I do apologize. And that's what it means about being grounded. That's exactly what I did. All of a sudden, my sacrum just went tightened, as if to sort of say, stay true to the fundamentals, stay true to what you're doing. So it's brought me back to that, the chakra sequencing. And I think that's really important. Let's see what it moves on to now. It goes on to the heart. So this is really good. This is a great energy this week for manifestation in a way. Once you get your fundamental things in place, that's when it's like doing a design or drawing with a pencil, and then you can color it in. And the heart chakra's kind of going, is it time to color now? Is it time to put on it's like getting the Christmas tree and then, is it now time to decorate it? Sort of scenario. So it's decorating your life or exploring your life in the joys that you can bring from within you, and you can exchange with the world around you. Really, really nice energies there. And then it plays to the third eye and the throat chakra here. It can become a little intense, so if you do have anxiety problems and so forth, make sure you ground yourself regularly during the day, so then therefore you don't run away with the ideas within your third eye, and keep it real. Basically, that's what it's trying to sort of say here. In the communication front with the throat chakra, as I said within the other video that I did last week, you know, listening is almost more important within the communication than actually speaking. It's much harder to listen than it is to speak, and I think this is where the throat chakra is trying to sort of like help that. It's leaving space for the conversation to exist within your life, and that's also explaining how your inner vision is implied within the world that is around you. And then it goes back to the crown and the root. So it goes back to the end there. Now, I think the reason the solar plexus was not really involved in that is because there's enough energy going on that's going to help that determination, that sort of solar plexus energy in a way. Normally, solar plexus energy is all about confidence and getting on and doing things, and really, using your determination in order to get things done. And because that's not there, it should take a bit of the roughness off of it. So, trying to avoid conflicts and so forth within the relationships that are around you, or generally within your life. That's what it seems to be doing. So it's allowing, the earth has got to get things done. So that may be why the solar plexus kicked off. And that's why it's trying to keep it out of the system, of the human system. So then we can calm down and stop knocking hell bells out of each other, which is really ridiculous, that's what the, I think that's why the solar plexus is missing more than anything else. But a great week to get on and really sort of imply yourself in your manifestations and so forth. Let's get on and see what's going on and get a message from the earth, a message from the energies. Let's see what's going on within the center of the earth. Okay, so just reconnecting to that vibration now. And now I can see the morphic fields, the general energy around sort of picking up. I can see the streams of energy happening, which is really nice. I've got the crossing point, which is just behind me. Really nice energy, I love it. So just going into that crossing point, using the vortex where the lines connect to the center of the earth, a bit like a plasma ball, that when you put your fingers on the plasma ball, you get those arcs of electricity that goes up to it. That's what the crossing point is here, like every other crossing point. So we're into that crossing point. Now let's just go down into the vortex. Okay, as we're going down, we're just looking up at the underside of the crust of the earth. There's a lot of movement of energy going on, and I think that's to do with the poles shift as well. I think we'll find over the next 2 months that you'll find that the poles, the north and the south poles, are starting to move again quite quickly. There was a pulse movement of the poles about sort of like a month and a half ago. I think we're going to get another one in the next sort of 2 months as well. And that's causing that friction where we got the earthquakes and so forth, because the reorientation of the axis of the earth is being deployed by that portal that's in the center. It's gradually being fine-tuned, as it were. Okay, so we're looking at big earthquakes here that's possibly going south of Japan. Going down in that section there. We're looking at the diamond of the Filipino plates, and it seems like that there could be a lot of movement there, either through earthquakes or through volcano activity as well. But there seems to be a grouping of energies in those sort of places there. at the moment. And there also seems to be something that's happening in South America towards the root chakra. I think this is it's grounding it as well. That seems to be, we're looking at the topper section, really top section of the root chakra. So it looks like there could be something quite hectic in the way of earthquakes in that sort of section there as well. We'll see that in the next sort of few days. Okay, that all seems to be fine. I just want to have another look at that layer that I've been talking about over the last 4 or 5 months, how it's compressing, and if there's any bubbles going through. It seems to be condensing. It's like it's condensing like a real solid layer now that's ready to then, when the orientation happens in the next years ahead, so do not worry, it's coming up in years and years ahead, but when that orientation goes, it will literally be it may, almost like day and night sort of scenario. Let's get down to the center of the earth and find out what's going on. There we go. We got the plasma ball. Now the plasma ball has gone from that yellow section, it's gone a lot more tighter, so it's a lot more sort of silvery. The energies are really, really tight at the moment. It's very nice, incredibly powerful, like a light bulb that's being switched on in a way, or the intensity's been turned up. Let's just find the doorway into the center. Here we go. There's a lot going on in the center. There's a lot of administrators checking things. Everyone seems to be very, very busy. There's obviously the Akashic Library, which is glowing really well. And there seems to be, from the Akashic Library, it seems to be, this is where the truths are now starting to be orientated and to be allowed to be released. And this is through the collective understanding. It's not through one person, it's through a collective understanding more than anything else. Let me just speak to one of the administrators. He's just sort of saying, yeah, I'm really busy. Go and have a look at the portal. So if we go to that portal, now we can see that the portal is like orientated. So that's north and south. It was like that, and it's gone like that. So it seems to be orientated. So it's pulling that energy through. And it's really bright, a really bright light that's coming through. One thing that seems to be as well, I think we're going to get a increase in the rotation of the Earth as well in the next sort of over the next sort of 4 or 5 months. I think we'll notice that the speed of the Earth will be increasing by microseconds, but it's for a planet, that's amazing. And that seems to be going through. Let me just have a look what's going through. So as the light comes through, what it's trying to do here is trying to help with our greater consciousness, that we don't just live in this one life. We live over multitudes of different lives. And that knowledge is accumulating within us as individuals, but also within us collectively. And it seems like this understanding is all coming under one umbrella, or coming under one sort of understanding, in a way, one consciousness in a way. That's what it seems to be like, where you will not be, or no one will be able to deny the reality of what is really happening here. And we do have some amazing, it's bringing forward the great spirits of the past, or at least giving that vibration to the Akashic Library, so it brings out the Christ energy, or the Buddha energy, or even the Muhammad energy, or the Shiva energy. It's bringing all of that into a really powerful collective. It's not like a spirit, it's like the spirit of the human that is being born, as if we are being reborn. That's what it seems to be. and under a greater understanding in that rebirthing of it all. How long is this reorientation going to last? They're sort of saying between the next sort of week, 10 days. So this is where you may still see a lot more sort of earthquakes, and it'll probably calm down by the March, August period. October and March could well have something to do there, obviously, but we'll look at that another day. But it seems to be calmed down. It's just testing it at the moment to see what the earth can support in the way of a reorientation. Let's just get a message from that portal there. This is the first of the veils that need to be dissolved. And they're sort of saying, it's sort of saying that we as individuals and collective, we have the key to the universe. And it's our time to shine as a collective as well. And we do that through individual life as much as then within the collective life. And it's sort of saying now is the time, for those veils to drop and stop denying the truth. If you deny the truths, that's where you may find that there's a lot of people that might have mental issues, mental sort of stability issues because of that denial of what is actually really happening. And there's nothing you can do. So, you can obviously be very kind to these people, but don't get pulled down into the quagmire with them if I was you. This is that separation between various parts of the Akashic Library. That's some part that's going ahead, some part that's staying here, and some part that's falling to the, going back to the beginning, as it were. This is a great time, and we should enjoy every single step along the pathway. And joy is something that is not necessarily that life's absolutely brilliant. It may be difficult sometimes for everybody, but it's actually enjoying getting things sorted and arranged and organized within the world. I'm just having a look at that clock as well that's on the wall, and I'm getting 5, 2 dots, 5, 5. And it's like, that's the number of transition. And it's like we're at this point now, it's like the Mayan calendar has those 5 days that are missing at the end of the calendar. And it seems like that 555 seems to be playing into it, So, and I look at that as 5 years, 5.5 years sort of thing. And it seems to be a lot more stable than it was before. And there's an administrator that's come to me now and sort of said, okay, look, we're just about to release the truth. So you're going to have to stand out the way. We're going to need to do things and get things sorted, administration stuff. Absolutely fine. Thank you very much for your time. And it's as if they've collected papers or bits of lives from different people, kind of like, and allow releasing them within the energy, so that energy can come to the surface and we can put the pieces together here. Okay, thank you very much. Let me just step out of that central point. Let me just speak to the earth now and see what we get for messages from the actual earth, Mother Earth, as it were. You are no longer a child. We are no longer a child. Everything, every engagement that we do in this world now has to have responsibility. And holding children's hands as we go through this so then they can be in a position in future generations to deal with the changes that are coming down the line. Now is the time to be the ultimate version of ourselves. We're growing up quickly, people. That's what it seems to be like. Mother Earth is really, she's quite busy, she's got a lot on. You know, I say Mother Earth, you know, the Earth itself, it's got a lot on, dealing with things. So, you know, she's quite busy, there's a lot of busyness going on. Okay, there's my portal coming through, back up to the crossing point, and then back into the body. Phenomenal times are starting now. And it could be in line with the Lion's Gate as well, energies as well that's coming through. And I think this is where, you know, we need to get rid of the, you know, we need to let go of the illusions that there's something from the exterior that's going to come and save us. We have to do it ourselves, because that is not going to happen, people. And this reorientation of the Earth's energy and the energy of the solar system as well. And we can go and look at the portal that's in the sun at some point. I'll try and do that for the weekend, some point over the weekend, so you get a video coming out on Saturday about that and see what's going on that sort of side of things. I went there the other day, and yeah, there's a lot going on. So, you know, I'll put out a, because you go from the Earth to the sun and from the sun to the galaxy. So that's how it works. You can't just go to the galaxy through there. That's not how it works, people. That's what I mean by illusions. You know, the universe would look like a really holy, you know, Swiss cheese. There'd be so many holes in it, there'd be no structure left to it at all. So I think this is where we're coming back to sort of precise and concise energy formats that will help us to evolve enormously. Really, really good sort of energies. But we'll do a video on that. So don't forget about the weekly readings that I do for everybody on the Thursday and the Fridays. Now that's on Earth signs and fire signs on the Thursday, air signs and water signs on the Friday. Thanking you very much to all the new subscribers we had this week. We went through the 10,000 subscribers. So I forgot to say that. It's been absolutely amazing week. And I welcome all those lovely new subscribers to the channel. I hope you enjoy and explore, and also everybody's got their position and contribution to the greater understanding. In the meantime, thanking you very much for given me the confidence to subscribe, like and share this video wherever you are. I will see you soon. In the meantime, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.